Saturday morning TV, cartoons, a hot drink, simpler times. I really miss it. So in today's video we're going to look at some of the best cartoons, gaming cartoons you can check out on Netflix. Of course, we have to start with one of the biggest gaming anime and cartoon shows of all time. Growing up with Pokemon, I love and I still love the Pokemon anime. The series has been around since the games began, following the adventures of a boy from Pallet Town with eternal youth. Ash Ketchum and his adorable Pikachu wander the world to become the Pokemon Master. After 25 years of doing his thing, this trainer's arc is sadly coming to an end this year. But you can leap back through time like a Celebi and see where it all began. From that very first encounter with a disgruntled Pikachu, through Ash meeting his original team for the very first time. Check it out on Netflix. This is one huge trip back through time to the late 80s when Nintendo were growing massively thanks to the huge popularity of Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Everyone was going slightly bonkers over the two plumbers, a princess and her mushroom minions. Over in the US, the hype grew into one of the most iconic cartoons and live action shows during the time, with wrestler Lou Albano playing Mario and Danny Wells as Luigi. Each episode started with a little skit and then a classic 90s cartoon segment inspired by the games. We had iconic items, classic baddies and a cheeky Bowser. This series is on YouTube and Amazon and is well worth a watch. Looking for something a little bit darker? One of the more popular animated series based on games has to be Castlevania on Netflix. Following the events of the classic 80s games and the more recent chapters, this series is a gritty take on the Belmont clan as Trevor heads up against Dracula and his legion of rather blood-hungry vampires. Slick, brutal animation explores the lore of the series, diving deeper into the characters, their motivations, and going beyond the whip crack of the classic Capcom side-scrollers. Vampire battles, your kind of thing? Definitely worth a watch on Netflix with 4 seasons to bite into. Jumping into something a bit more recent, Sonic Prime just launched on Netflix and it's a huge dimension-leaping story for the Blue Hog. It all starts off with your classic Green Hill tale, familiar faces and baddies. It's a classic. But then, thanks to a little mishap, things go a little bit wonky and Sonic ends up transported into different dimensions. Future, past, pirate. The show is super fun and feels very much like the classic Sonic comics from back in the day. The animation style is delicious, it's absolutely fluid, fast, and really keeps you hooked into these different worlds Sonic ends up visiting. Currently, the first season has 8 episodes to devour on Netflix, with more, hopefully, to come. Speaking of fluid animation and action, another show that's worth checking out on Netflix is Tekken Bloodline. The show is an absolute classic and a treat for Tekken lovers, diving more into the series' lore. Story-wise, we end up transported back into the 90s, with the series following the events of Tekken 3, as series protagonist Jin Kazama heads out to defeat a freakish creature, embracing powers that lurk within him. Fans of the fighting series will just love the references, familiar faces, iconic moves, and that brutal action that has grown to become the king of Iron Fist. It's short and sweet, but it's well worth checking out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Much like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the fan favourite animes of the early noughties, following the timeless tale of a young card lover, Yugi Moto, who inherits an alter ego, an ancient Egyptian spirit. Sounds like a totally normal day for the life of a young lad who loves trading card games. The creator of the cards ends up coming along and stealing Yugi's grandfather's spirit, and the adventure begins. This last one is a little bit different because it's an anime about gaming. High school girl follows the adventure and growth of a young boy who just loves video games in the early 90s. He's obsessed with fighting games, goes down to the arcades, batters everyone in his local community, until one day he encounters a rival that he just can't beat. A friendship and rivalry ensues. It's a coming of age tale, a love story, a really interesting anime to watch. Check it out today on Netflix. So there we go, our selection of anime and cartoon shows that you can check out on Netflix, YouTube and Amazon today. What did you think of our selection? Let us know with a comment below. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you love Nintendo and retro games, be sure to join the conversation on our Discord. We're trying to build up a little Nintendo community over there. Links are below. If you want to see more videos like this, you may want to subscribe. And before you move on to the next video, be sure to check out our exclusive merch, Geeky Gaming Designs voted for by you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.